In the heart of Pittsburgh stood a majestic yet eerie mansion known as Maplewood Manor. Its grandeur was undeniable, but so was its dark history. The locals whispered tales of tragedy and horror that clung to its walls like a shroud. It was said that the spirits of the past lingered within its corridors, seeking solace or vengeance. None could tell. But one thing was certain: those who dared to enter Maplewood Manor never returned the same. The story began with the Barker family, who were once the proud owners of the estate. Charles Barker, a wealthy industrialist, had built the mansion in the late 19th century as a symbol of his success. But behind the facade of opulence lay a sinister truth. Charles was a man consumed by greed and ambition, willing to do whatever it took to maintain his power. As the years passed, whispers of Charles's nefarious deeds spread throughout Pittsburgh. Tales of exploitation, corruption, and even murder stained the Barker name. Yet, despite the darkness that surrounded him, Charles remained unrepentant, ruling over Maplewood Manor with an iron fist. However, the Barker family's reign of terror would soon come to an end. In 1923, tragedy struck when a fire engulfed the mansion, claiming the lives of Charles Barker and his wife, Margaret. Rumors swirled that the fire was no accident, that it was the work of vengeful spirits seeking justice for the sins of the past. In the decades that followed, Maplewood Manor lay abandoned, a decaying monument to its dark history. But despite its dilapidated state, the mansion still held a magnetic pull, drawing in those brave or foolish enough to explore its haunted halls. One such adventurer was Emily Carter, a young journalist eager to uncover the truth behind Maplewood Manor's legends. Armed with her camera and notepad, Emily ventured into the abandoned mansion, determined to capture evidence of the supernatural. As Emily stepped through the crumbling doorway, she felt a chill run down her spine. The air was thick with the scent of decay, and the faint echo of footsteps echoed through the empty halls. Ignoring the sense of unease that gnawed at her, Emily pressed on, her curiosity driving her deeper into the heart of the mansion. It wasn't long before Emily encountered her first sign of the paranormal. As she wandered through the dilapidated ballroom, her flashlight caught a glimpse of movement in the shadows. Heart pounding, Emily raised her camera, ready to capture whatever lurked in the darkness. But as she snapped the photograph, a bone-chilling scream pierced the silence, causing Emily to recoil in horror. The sound seemed to reverberate through the very walls of the mansion, filling her with a sense of dread unlike anything she had ever felt before. Shaken but undeterred, Emily pressed on, determined to uncover the truth behind Maplewood Manor's haunting. As she delved deeper into its secrets, she began to unravel a tapestry of tragedy and despair. Through old newspaper clippings and faded photographs, Emily learned of the Barker family's dark past. She discovered tales of murder and betrayal, of lives destroyed in the pursuit of wealth and power. And as she pieced together the puzzle, Emily couldn't shake the feeling that the spirits of the past were watching her every move, their anguished cries echoing through the halls of the mansion. But it wasn't just the spirits of the Barker family that haunted Maplewood Manor. As Emily explored further, she encountered other restless souls trapped within its walls. From the ghostly apparition of a maid who met a tragic end to the tormented spirit of a young boy lost in the labyrinthine corridors, each encounter sent shivers down her spine. Yet, despite the terror that gripped her, Emily refused to turn back. She was determined to uncover the truth, no matter the cost. But as she delved deeper into the darkness, she soon realized that some secrets were meant to stay buried. It was during one fateful night that Emily made her most chilling discovery yet. Venturing into the mansion's basement, she stumbled upon a hidden chamber concealed behind a crumbling brick wall. As she stepped inside, her flashlight illuminated a scene straight from her worst nightmares. Lined along the walls were rows of wooden coffins, each adorned with a nameplate bearing the Barker family crest. Horror washed over Emily as she realized the true extent of the mansion's dark legacy. Maplewood Manor wasn't just haunted, it was a tomb, a final resting place for the victims of Charles Barker's insatiable greed. But before Emily could process the enormity of her discovery, she felt a cold hand close around her throat. squeezing the life from her with icy fingers. Gasping for breath, she struggled against the unseen force, but it was no use. The spirits of Maplewood Manor had claimed another victim, ensuring that the truth would remain buried forever. And so, as the sun rose over Pittsburgh, Maplewood Manor stood silent and still, its secrets lost to the passage of time. But for those who dared to tread its haunted halls, the echoes of the past would linger on, a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurked within. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the crumbling facade of Maplewood Manor, a group of thrill-seekers gathered at its gates. Among them was Sarah, a skeptic who scoffed at the idea of ghosts, and Mark, a true believer who was convinced that the spirits of the past lurked within the mansion's walls. Despite their differences, they shared a common goal: to uncover the truth behind Maplewood Manor's haunting. With flashlights in hand and hearts pounding with anticipation, the group ventured into the darkness, each step echoing through the silent halls. As they explored the abandoned mansion, they encountered strange phenomena: disembodied whispers, fleeting shadows, and inexplicable cold spots that sent shivers down their spines. But it wasn't until they reached the grand staircase that things took a truly terrifying turn. As they ascended the steps, a sudden gust of wind extinguished their flashlights, plunging them into darkness. Panic gripped the group as they groped blindly in the blackness, their screams drowned out by the sound of creaking floorboards and distant moans. When the lights flickered back to life, they found themselves in a different part of the mansion, disoriented and disheveled. It was then that they realized they were not alone. A spectral figure materialized before them, its eyes hollow and filled with an otherworldly sorrow. Frozen in fear, the group watched as the ghostly apparition beckoned them forward, its ethereal form shimmering in the dim light. With a sense of dread, they followed, drawn deeper into the heart of Maplewood Manor by forces beyond their comprehension. As they traversed the labyrinthine corridors, they encountered more spirits, tormented souls trapped between the realms of the living and the dead. Each encounter left them shaken, their resolve tested by the relentless onslaught of supernatural phenomena. But it was Sarah who faced the greatest challenge of all. As a skeptic, she had always dismissed the idea of ghosts as mere superstition. But now, confronted with the undeniable evidence of their existence, she found herself questioning everything she thought she knew. As the night wore on, the group found themselves ensnared in a deadly game of cat and mouse with the spirits of Maplewood Manor. Each twist and turn brought them closer to the truth, but also to the brink of madness. And as they delved deeper into the darkness, they realized that the mansion held secrets far darker than they could have ever imagined. In the end, only Sarah and Mark remained. The rest of their group lost to the relentless onslaught of the supernatural. With no way out and nowhere to run, they faced the wrath of the spirits head-on, their courage tested to its limits. But just when all hope seemed lost, they stumbled upon a hidden chamber deep within the bowels of the mansion, a chamber filled with ancient relics and forbidden knowledge. And within its depths, they discovered the key to breaking the curse that bound Maplewood Manor to the world of the living. With trembling hands, they performed the ritual, their voices trembling as they spoke the ancient incantations. And as the final words echoed through the darkness, a blinding light filled the chamber, banishing the spirits back to the realm of the dead. As dawn broke over Pittsburgh, Sarah and Mark emerged from Maplewood Manor, their bodies bruised and battered, but their spirits unbroken. Though they had faced unimaginable horrors, they had emerged victorious, their bond forged in the crucible of fear. And as they looked back at the mansion one last time, they knew that Maplewood Manor would forever hold a place in their memories. A chilling reminder of the thin veil that separates the world of the living from the realm of the